Commerce you invited. Who from your group are here? How many businesses here? Chamber of Commerce, you see? It means you business, a few people only, yeah?
Well, the Christian Chamber of Commerce is a regional group, so there's 8 different meetings throughout the region.
Who represent Chamber of Commerce? It means they have own businesses, correct?
Businesses and ministries.
In ministry. Yeah.
And ministry.
In business too. Ministry, business too.
Yes.
How many of them here? If you want, yeah.
They'll get a recording, the whole chamber will get a recording of this.
Some busy may not attend. That's okay.
Okay, last question, 30 seconds each, please. And we'll start with Linda here. Here in the Northwest, we all agree we live in a beautiful part of the country. We're blessed to do that. Why would you be willing to commit yourself to living in the nation's capital, which is so far from here? And if you were elected to Congress from the 1st District, how often would voters back here in the district see you?
Okay. That is a very good question. I love Oregon. I will be in the community. As your representative, I need to know what the needs and wants and desires are for all my constituents. I went to Clatsop County, I'm going to Columbia County. Everyone is important. I'm your neighbor. I live right here on the Newburgh-Gaston Highway. I would be in Washington for my job to vote, but I would be available to all my constituents here in the Northwest as much as possible.
I have an apartment in Arlington, Virginia, right next to the Pentagon, because I've been lobbying there for the last 6 months, and I'm back here just for my last semester. My parents live here, so obviously I would be coming back and forth all the time, and also I would host weekly town halls over Skype or webcast to reach out to my constituents. I believe congressional representatives should be reaching out directly to their constituents more often, so I would use technology to help with that. Thank you.
And there at the end?
I want to thank everybody for coming, and I appreciate the opportunity, and I would also appreciate your vote, and I would close with a thought that you can make a difference. I realize I've got something to offer that nobody else that's running does, and that's lots of experience. You might equate that to age, but I come from the North Oregon coast where we've got something that nobody else has. We've got tons of great fresh air, which I would miss a bunch, but I'd probably take some back with me to Washington, D.C. in a jar.
I love it. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining us this early in the morning. I really appreciate it. I have relatives on the East Coast. My brother actually lives in Charlottesville, Virginia, and when a dear friend of mine works on Senator Inhofe's campaign, so I do have some connections back there. But my son is in school here, and he's 13 years old, so I'll definitely be back here a lot. But I'm going to be continuing my Live with Lisa Michaels talk show via Ustream and Blog Talk Radio, and I do that every Wednesday night from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock from now until the election. Check it out.
Certainly get back as often as possible. I think technology would be a good way to keep in touch with everyone. You can emails and Skype and cable. I think all those things would work.
Well, I moved to Oregon in 1978 from Philadelphia because I wanted to live in the best place in the country. Actually, I met former Governor Tom McCall. You may remember one of the key people from moving to Oregon. And I said, it's because of you that I moved to Oregon. He said, how come? I said, when I heard you were trying to keep people out, I said, that's where I want to go. And, I've got a very happy family life in Tigard. Don't really like the idea of having to live in Washington, but, that's something that needs to be done right now for our country. And I'll get back here as often as possible.
Why I am former immigrant with imperfect English must run for office. Why? Because first I run for Constitution United States, abused criminal contempt, and many politicians should be in prison for violation and rape of this Constitution. Also, I don't want to live in Washington, D.C., but I ran because 13 years I could not get justice. 13 years I illegally was terminated by trial. I many times wrote letter to Avekian, Bonamici, and don't vote for them. They not honest. They violate Constitution. They violate code of ethics for government employee and do official misconduct. It is felony. It's my obligation to defend this country from them.
All right, well, I think we've obviously aired some differences of opinion here and different perspectives, different backgrounds, but I think we would all agree that every single one of these people deserve our applause because they care enough to get involved. So. Any closing comments on behalf of the Christian Chamber?
We'll be here next month as well on the second Tuesday, fourth Tuesday. And our guest speaker
Tyler Smith.
Okay, these are our legal scholars for the Christian Chamber. If you have any legal questions, please join us. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Legal question about what? About Constitution. You see, you said if you have legal question, how to get justice?
I love what you have to say.
Where is that?
It's good stuff, and you're absolutely right. Well, if I could choke enough people, I would make it happen.
I'm working with Lori, she actually lives here too, so I'm talking to her work to me. But right now I haven't raised enough money Thank you so much for telling me, I appreciate it, thanks for coming. You will do your own though, it's free. You just go and walk my bridge. Yeah, I really disagree with you so much. That's why I don't want to help you. And I don't want to give you any platform because I really think you're very good.
Why did we just increase those drones? How do you get out when you do more? Well,
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, you and I could discuss, regardless of how it plays out, whether we're in Baghdad 40 years straight, like
Every aspect. I'm sure that's what you know. Did you not receive with the image of is that not true? I know, but anyway,
I'm not gonna argue, yeah. But I think we need to try. Like, I don't care about the platform and stuff, because I think we're both coming at it from, like you're here.
talk to Merkley.
We need to talk. You know, there's actual people dying on the inside. There's Christian troops dying right there.
When I first heard
Anyway, maybe I'll see you guys again somewhere. You have my vote because you had the nerves.
And you think that's gonna stop by
Certainly. Yeah, I mean, I was.
That's why. Newburgh just ended. Go to the bathroom. Home. Are you home now?